Everyone, welcome to another video of Mr. Mac Maths. Today we'll be looking at what are fractions. So, a couple of important points here. The first one, fractions are parts of a whole. The second one, all the parts have to be the same size for comparison. Now, I'm just going to explain those points to you using this visual representation. So we have a circle. Now, I can split the circle up into parts. So, I've split the circle up now into two halves, which you can see are the same size. So therefore I can call them halves. Now I can also split the circle up into quarters. So you can see the quarters are the same size, and therefore I can call them quarters. So you have two quarters there. So half, a quarter, and a quarter. Now notice that the two quarters, they can fit into the half. So two quarters would make a half. And that comes back to the second point here. All the parts have to be the same size for comparison. What that means is the two quarters, you can see that they're the same size. So I can call them both quarters. However, the half is a different size to a quarter. It is double. Therefore, it's called a half. Now, there are a couple of examples here of other shapes that have been split up. So you can see the shape here, the square that has been split up into quarters. Notice that all the quarters are the same size because they have to be the same size, otherwise you can't call all of them quarters. And the triangle, notice that it's split up into two halves, and the halves are obviously the same size. Now, what happens when you have a situation like this? Do you think this is correct? Is it a half on both sides? No, this is incorrect. Because, coming back to the second point again, even though they are two parts of a whole, I cannot call them both halves because they have to be the same size. So for example, if this was a chocolate bar and I wanted to share it out between two people, and I split the chocolate bar exactly as it is split here, and I gave it to two people, the separate pieces to two people, would they get an equal amount of chocolate? No. Therefore, this is incorrect and a misconception. What actually needs to happen is the shape should be split exactly down the middle as evenly as possible. Obviously I'm using a freehand pen here, and so what would happen is you would have one half on this side and the other half, which would be the same size, on the other side, and then when you share the chocolate out, the two people will get the same amount of chocolate.